continue to sustain this tempo because it has shown that it can, yield fruit. And you cannot but give the NFA plaudits, like I said again.
All right, let's just inform you as well that the Flying Eagles will be playing Tanzania first leg next weekend, the 9th of May. They will play between the 9th of May and the 11th of May. First leg against Tanzania, and the return leg comes up a fortnight after. The Flying Eagles will be leaving Abuja for Lagos on Friday with a 20-man squad. Looks like they want to travel on time to Tanzania. Get used to whatever they will meet on the ground and be able to get a decent result from that game next week. Let's come now to club football in Africa. We told you earlier on the CAF Champions League draws were made today by CAF, and look at what Group A offers. You have 2 teams from Congo Democratic Republic, so those massive battles in Congo DR definitely will highlight Group A. Al Hilal of Sudan, TP Mazembe, Congo DR, AS Vita, Congo DR. Remember, AS Vita along the way had to deal with a certain Kano Pillars from Nigeria, and then you had Zamalek of Egypt. That looks like a very, very tricky group. Group B, not any less in terms of the quality of football, but all teams from North Africa. This is North African derby from start to finish. Esperance, who have been former champions of Ton Setiv of Algeria, Sex Fasen, emerging force in African football, and then El Hali Benghazi. Dumnodi, you've been following El Hali Benghazi. Nigerian interest, very huge with El Hali Benghazi, Moses Okuma, Solomon Jabasin, Victor Namo. I mean, these guys.
3 former stars of the Nigerian Premier League.
3 former stars of the Nigerian League who have also had time with Stephen Keshi's own base Eagles.
Yes.
Are there really pulling their weight and helping El Hali Benghazi get to this stage.
Especially for Solomon Jabasin and Moses Okuma, who will be very consistent. They play regular team player. They played every match for El Hali Benghazi.
And along the
one that accounted for the ouster of El Hali.
El Hali defending champions. It was El Hali Benghazi that know that El Hali.
So they were very instrumental. So when you say no Nigerian, I was going to imagine we have Nigerian, 3 Nigerians in one team.
No Nigerian
we are seeing no Nigerian club, but
we still have Nigerian interest.
If you have this game on TV and you see 3 Nigerians playing for a club, you want to see what they can offer, and you want to put your money on this club so that you will see the Nigerian interest being established.
But it changes nothing away from the fact that
Nigerian clubs,
where
if 3 Nigerians are helping a club to get to this, what about the team of Nigerians?
23 Nigerians.
What about 11 Nigerians? Why can't they do the same?
23.
No Ghanaian club, no Ivorian club, no South African club, no the country that has the best league. No Moroccan club.
No, but Nigeria, the Nigerian Premier League has been consistently rated among the top 3 in Africa. No, we are also African champions.
The reason why you may not have a South African club and some of all of those other clubs at this stage is that the priorities are different.
Okay, let us do that.
Probably will play with the second string team sometimes.
Which they did.
For the last time Orlando Pirates played the final, they had to suspend their games in the league because they
had a pile up.
So
for those other countries, you could look at. But for Nigeria, we know how seriously we take competitions.
We have a problem here. It's not because the league did not start. The clubs have continental game. You must wait for the league. What if the league will not
organize your own playing tour? Anyway, let's hope that
all the clubs that participated in the CAF Champions League, when were their coaches appointed?
All right, we'll take a look at all of those later on going forward. But really, things must change if we want to continue to have our dominance in Africa. Because if we continue to fail this way, our slots could be reduced at some point. Let's step down and talk about the CAF Confederation Cup. This is not any less quality.
No.
AS Real Bamako of Mali, ASEC Mimosa Cote d'Ivoire, AC Leopards. I mean, when you see teams like this and then Cotton Sport,
they all fell out from the CAF Champions League.
This is I mean, massive teams that fell out from the CAF Champions League. We have Sirius Sport, they fell out. Etoile du Sahel, El Hali of Egypt, and Canal Red Devils. Teams that fell apart from
Etoile du Sahel.
Etoile du Sahel.
Yes.
Every other team fell from the Champions League. But then
but
then it raises a few questions. What is the essence of the CAF Confederations Cup if it is going to be dominated by teams that fell from the CAF Champions League?
Which is the same question that they're already asking in Europe, because the latter stages of the Europa League is usually predominantly dominated.
Teams that drop from the Champions League.
Drop down from the Champions League. But I'm sure that it is just trying to improve. It is a measure of trying to improve the quality of these second-tier competitions, not making them any less in quality or in terms of excitement, but just to ensure that there is still plenty to see. I mean, there's an African Sports and an Al Ali. It doesn't diminish the competition, does it? There's a Cotton Sport as well. These are teams that have played consistently.
Anyway, the arguments will go on and on and on that the Confederations Cup surely isn't supposed to be as glamorous as the Champions League because it's a tournament for cup winners. But then at the end of the day, all those teams are out, and the teams that fell from the Champions League just take over. But talk to us about it. What do you feel about it? Is that the right thing to do? Teams that are supposed to be CAF Confederations Cup teams eventually do not make it to the group stage of the competition. Teams that fell out of the CAF Champions League are the ones that dominate. What do you think about it? Is that a right step in the right direction for club football in Africa? We'd like to hear your opinion about all of these issues as well as we go along. But let's talk table tennis very quickly. We were talking about it yesterday. Team Nigeria, mixed fortune. The boys winning, the girls losing. But it looks like the girls are also beginning to wake up.
Well, you just have to do that. We are still in the season of playing game, playing tournament in table tennis, and you know the chairman of the president of the Nigerian Table Tennis Federation got an appointment, got into the nomination committees of the IWTF. So it's just one of those privileges when you try as much as possible to engage your table tennis player, to engage your talent, expose them to international competition. Whether we win or we lose, the fact is that we are getting enough exposure, we are building up. We are seeing some of the best table tennis players. We are playing against the best table tennis players. As time goes on, we get used to it. We go back to those glory days Nigerians have been clamoring for because, yes, we've dropped in that.
My question is, what kind of players are we taking to this competition? If we are still taking a Segun Toriola who has played...
Who's a coach player? Who is the coach player? Let me tell you this. Nigeria. The good news is Nigeria today beat the highly rated Belgian side in one of the games. And the IWTF commended the Nigerian team for what they've been able to do. Toriola is there, not just as a player, also there as a coach. We also went with a lot of young players, Onolapo, to this tournament. So we are also exposing a lot of young players, and they are also rubbing shoulders with the best in the world. So it's, in a way, yes, you can't throw away the old hands if they are still very relevant. And also, while keeping them there, also begin to open up doors for the younger ones.
That's just the best thing. That's why you keep organizing, taking your young players to this competition, even if they can't play up to the crucial pace, but let them develop, let them grow over time. As time goes on, the old guards, we're going to phase out gradually. You can't just throw them away. You have to beat them. Like when I conducted the interview with to last before the Lagos Classic, he said, if you beat me, I'll go. But if you can't beat me, then what do you want to do?
What do you want him to do? You have to take him out. All right, we thought you were going to be able to see some actions on table tennis there, but all right, no problem. Let's go talk athletics very quickly. Blessing Okagbare, what's the story around Blessing Okagbare? Blessing Okagbare. That's the right pronunciation. Not a good one over the weekend in the relays in the United States, but she surely has to bounce back. Early season loss of form is normal, but you have to walk up very quickly, walk back to form because there's a lot ahead.
Well, the outdoor season is now beginning to is now in full flow. You expect many of the athletes, a lot of people will tell you, athletes experts will tell you that it is one thing running indoor. It is a totally different ball game running outdoor. The transition is not that easy. And this is the beginning of the outdoor season. The bounce sack relays was supposed to be where Nigeria tested. I think Nigeria was the only team that registered as a country. It was other things like schools, club sides and stuff. So it was just part of Nigeria's preparation for the relays at the upcoming Commonwealth Games as well. Also looking in view at the 2016 Rio Games as well. So I'm not particularly pleased because at this time of the year, I mean it's April, yes it's early in the season, but they should begin to show some amount, some kind of form. Maybe they are just late starters, but they should begin to let their presence be shown. Someone like Okagbare should not be struggling for form this early in the season. She's an elite athlete, and she has, how do I say, professional training program, and also
she's always there in top shape at any time.
Then also she also has standards to live up to.
All right, I agree with you. All right, but we'll keep our eyes on that because this is also a very crucial time. The Commonwealth Games comes up in a couple of months, and we need to get our top athletes ready for the Commonwealth Games. Mama will come later on the show to shed more light on all of this and also look at the relays held in the United States. What were the positives for Nigeria, and what can we improve upon looking forward to the Commonwealth Games. Let's also talk road race now, and believe it or not, the